Hello guys, welcome to Zussiemakesit. In this episode, we're going to install the floors. We have shopped, we have prepped, and now it's finally time to get the job done. Let's take a quick look at how it looked before and how it's looking now. The before video of the laundry floors are really scary, and the scariest part is that they were like this for almost 4 years since we moved into the house. Although I have been working on other areas of the house, I'm sometimes hard on myself for not doing more. These floors looked totally disconnected from the rest of the house, so you might imagine that I was really excited to demo the floors. Part 1 and 2 videos of this renovation are linked in the description below and in the top right corner. We're starting with the floor transition installation, and then I'll also give you my honest opinion on how the floors are, being that they were so cheap, and how it went with the installation. So there's a lot to cover. Let's dive in, because we gotta get this job done. So I'm measuring here, and that's to cut this piece so that I can put in between the floors. And I'm just trying to measure here how thick the floor was, and this floor is really, really low, super thin, almost paper-like. And so yeah, it's not gonna be thin, and it's gonna have like a little step down. It's not gonna have the reducer. I just want to use the division here and see how it looks, because I want to try something new. To cut my metal piece, I'm gonna need this, what is this, saw? It's a very fine tooth saw, it's for metal. And I have my square, something to mark it, a pencil or a marker could be. I already have my measurement, which is 30 inches, and I'm gonna go cut it over there. So it does take some time. As you can see, I've only gotten this far, and I'm doing it really slow, taking my time, just marking first the line so that I can start getting into, like, do a groove, and then once I have the groove, I can start going more and more into the groove until it gets cut off, the material cuts off, and then I'll go into this part, the front part, and we'll keep going. Okay, so at the very end, I was able to manage and bend it and then cut it, and I'm just gonna sand the edges so that they're not rough. And unfortunately, I made some marks here, so it's a little bit scratched from right there. It's a little bit scratched. So now on to fit it. Okay, so I think I already got it. Maybe I need to file it a little bit more, but I'm gonna put it underneath this laminate floor, and then I'm cleaning it with a damp paper towel and just making sure that there's no debris, no dust at all, because otherwise it just really makes it hard. And that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of the floor. I'm just gonna give it like a wipe all over, because when I put the floor, I want it to be completely clean, free of dust. That way when you put your flooring, you're not gonna have a little when you walk over it later. So that's my advice. And then here in the corners also, all this drywall dust, get rid of that as much as possible, and that way you can have a clean floor. I'm gonna be lifting this floor. Probably need my pry bar. You're gonna need to lift it a little bit so that you can manipulate this. On this side it's coming in. This other side is not wanting to go in, so I'm gonna file it a little bit more. Okay, so the divider is on. It looks super cool, and let me show you on this side. This is how the profile looks. I just really like the clean look and that the little bit of like a step down. I could have used a reducer, but I didn't have the exact height for the laminate to go into the vinyl. So I think this one's gonna look really cool. Now I'm just gonna clean up the floor and start laying the floors here. I am gonna start with a full piece. By that I mean that I'm gonna be putting, like, the starting piece is gonna be here, which is gonna be a full piece, and then I'm gonna work my way to go out here, and then whatever cutoff piece is gonna be in here, that's gonna be fine because it's not like the focal point. I feel like the most focal point is gonna be when you come through the door here and you're gonna see the entrance right there. So this piece is gonna be complete, and then as I go down here, we'll see whatever is the cutoff. It might be a little bit like this, hopefully, and you won't even notice it. So it's been a while since I've done floors, so I need to do this part right here where it's a very intrinsic piece that I need to cut. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off the bottom here with my oscillating tool. Oh my gosh, my brain. With an oscillating tool, that way we can slide this piece here as much as possible, and then I'll just notch out the rest so that it's not so complicated. But I got this piece a long time ago and I tried using it. Honestly, I tried it again today. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I haven't been able to use it. So good old cardboard marker is what I'm going to be doing, and I'll show you how I do it. I just want to show you all the details and all the tricks that I know so that it makes it easier for you. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to teach you right now how to do this mold so that you can cut your flooring and not waste. So I just grabbed a piece of cardboard from an Amazon box or whatever you have available, or even a piece of paper, you can do that as well. And you're just gonna make, and I'm just making, if you see, I'm not making the lengthwise the whole thing, just for the little tip part here where I'm gonna be doing the cut. So the cardboard here, I just grabbed it, cut the piece exactly to the width, and now because this part is so crazy with the little cut, this floor, I know already that this is gonna go underneath, so that's good. And I didn't have to notch or cut too much from underneath, so I'm gonna be okay with that. So then what you have to do, get your piece of cardboard, because it's flexible, you're gonna be able to manipulate it. So I put it right here, and I just marked the piece right there where the mold is, the molding right here for the doorway, and just marked it in this way, where this is the widest part and this is the widest part, and then I just made a line. Once I made that line, then I needed to take it out and see how far in I needed to go for this this part right here. So I kind of like bent my cardboard, and I went in like this, and then I marked how far in it needed to go. From there I was able to cut here to here, but because this part is a little bit ways in, you didn't need to cut. You need to cut to make it cut right here and make it shorter. So once I had the width, or the how far in it needed to go on this side, then I needed to cut right here. So this part was easy because the cardboard just kind of like bends, and once it bent, I just marked it and cut it. There's gonna be molding right here, so I'm not too worried about this little gap that you see right there, but I made it so that it's completely aligned to the wall here. It goes a little bit ways underneath here, and it'll be flush to this part right there. I just need to transfer that right here to my floor, and hopefully it'll be a good cut. Now the only thing that I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be cutting it here as tight as possible, but if I can cut it a little bit bigger here where I can close the gap that I showed you there, I'll do that, and I'll just adjust as I go. Cutting these floors was very easy. It's as easy as just marking it, scoring it with a utility knife, and then using a plier, you're gonna bend it and snap the material, and it'll come right off. Very, very easy. After that initial cut, I had to use my oscillating tool to cut off that bottom part of the molding, and then I just had to adjust the cuts in the piece of floor so that I could make it completely flush to that transition part that you see there. So I had to go a little bit back and forth until I finally got it. I just had to cut the piece that was underneath the door molding, had to cut it a little bit deeper, and then I was able to adjust it correctly. And then I did the other side of the doorway. I also had to work a lot there to adjust the cuts, but that piece of cardboard really works. It's a lifesaver. Okay, I'm off to the Home Depot right now. I don't even know what time it is, but I spent the whole day trying to do this, and this is how far it all went. I took out the last piece of linoleum that I had, and then I started cleaning up and taking off all the little bits and pieces that were left of the linoleum. As you can see right there, I have to take off whatever is underneath the dryer and washer, and then figure out as well what to do there, because that's gonna be a doozy. But this is the only thing that I did, one line, and I did that. But that is the most important piece when you are doing your floors, your first line, because that one's gonna determine the whole installation. It has to be completely straight, square, everything good. So I'm off to the Home Depot. And I'm off to the Home Depot because I didn't show you. I have to show you again. I'm gonna definitely have to do some caulking because there's some pieces here. The line that I did when we finished the laminate floor here, when we did the laminate floor right here, it wasn't straight enough. So now I have a gap that you can totally see here, and I'll have to put some caulking. I don't know how to look, but it's also gonna have to go right here because the line is not straight. So okay, so that's as far as I went a lot of cleaning up and a lot of things, and my family is trying to be quiet while I'm always trying to record and do stuff. So if you hear background noise, people screaming in the back, it's because it's my family being my family. I brought this piece of a floor sample so that I can match it with some caulking, because I'm gonna need it for the transition. So I was looking at this sealant, which is only sealant, but which is a silicone, but I'm not finding the color. So I think I'm gonna go with a grout caulk, which has sanded. Yeah, they're all sanded. So I'm gonna have to go with the the closest one that we found with my dad is this one, which is called Coffee Bean. What do you guys think? There is this other one called Natural Gray, but oh my gosh, everything's falling down. Okay, so these are the two choices. I think I'm gonna go with the Coffee Bean just because it's a little bit darker and it's gonna, I'm not sure now. What do you guys think I should go? Okay, let's find out at the end when I show you the reveal, because I'm not sure which one right now and it's taking too long to decide. Now I'm gonna just lay the first line here of flooring so that it's completely straight. It doesn't matter that it's not lining up completely here because I'll do that grout silicone that I showed you before, and everything else should go smoothly until we get to the point where I need to move these stackable things, which is gonna be interesting. So keep talking about this and I keep thinking about how am I gonna do this. So we'll figure out when we get there, right? I had already done the dry fit, so it was time to do the installation and put everything with the grout. I put my tape there so that I wouldn't stain the floors, and I started caulking. I added the caulking underneath the laminate floor, and then I pushed in my transition piece, and then I added my vinyl floor. And you don't have to wait till the end of the video. I chose the coffee bean color for the caulking, which I think goes really well with the floor because it's kind of like the color of the veining of the floor. The only thing with this caulking is that it's really, really sticky. So use your gloves. I didn't use them there, but do use gloves. I'm already well on my way here installing the floor, but I gotta tell you something. With this vinyl planking laminate, no, it's not vinyl laminate, it's vinyl LVP supposedly. I got it on a sale, which was great, but the only thing is that I don't like it. I don't like how the installation wise, it's not good. They made it so thin, and I was watching some videos that they make them so thin that the locking mechanism is really hard. So now I'm thinking that I need to put some glue underneath, because I don't know about this floor being locked in very well, and I'm not too sure about this. So it's super easy to cut, that I won't deny it, but just installing the first rows, I had to put together at least 3 rows and then slide it into place. Luckily I had a good way to put it in where it wasn't it didn't have obstacles, but I'm not too sure. So yeah, LVP, I don't know if it's what it's supposed to be or the one that I got super cheap on a sale, but I don't like them. Despite my rant about not liking how these floors were installing, I continued on because I had already bought the material, had already cut the material, so I needed to get over it. And the installation itself, the clicking mechanism, I kind of started getting the hang of it, so I moved on and finished the first few square feet there. It was really nice to step back and see that everything was coming together. The floors were looking really nice, and they were really matching the rest of the laminate floor. And even if I had a hard time in the beginning, I remembered that setting up and getting the hang of a new system is always difficult. So it's just a matter of getting to know the new material. So we took out the door here so that we can move a little bit more freely. This is as far as I went. The last time there was a lot of cuts and little things, and just getting the hang of installing this floor, because it's really totally different from the laminate, and because this is so thin, I really didn't like installing it. It's kind of weird, but you do have to do a couple of things to install it so that it stays put and it doesn't like unravel, you could say, because if you don't put it right, it doesn't click together well. Right now I need to move these two things, and I think I figured it out, so let's go.